Devil Train.
This is the Onion News Network.
What's up, gays, gay narcissists,
homos,
and straight people? Straight people listen to this show, right?
Yes,
Who
apparently.
don't know what they're listening to on LRN, and they're like, what the hell?
Apparently don't know any better.
Yes, you were just listening to Free Talk Live, and now we're about to blow your mind. This is Flaming Freedom, and we're live this Thursday, April 23rd, 2015. I'm shirtless because this is the beginning of the process of getting ready for Speedo Day. Dale, are you going?
I might.
Might.
I don't know. If I'm a lard ass at the time, I may not go. I don't know.
Come on, you're not a lard ass now. What do you plan on eating a bunch of potato chips?
I don't know if I'm Speedo worthy though. I'm definitely not a lard ass. I'm not going to exaggerate. I'm not even really gay fat, right? There's straight fat and gay fat.
Yeah, you're not even gay fat.
Higher standard.
Yeah.
I'm not even really gay fat, but I don't know if I'm Speedo worthy. That's a whole separate category.
Not even what are they called? I don't know. There's something in between otter and bear, right?
Oh, but that has to do with hairiness. I'm not hairy.
Right.
I'm not worried about that part.
Well, I want to share with you why I am shirtless. So there's Speedo Day at Hampton Beach. Some of the listeners already know about this, but I'm going to share it on Facebook because anyone can participate. So here it is. Oh, look, you changed the picture. Somebody did. And it looks like it's hosted by me, but I don't know who did that. Look at those abs, man. They are amazing. These guys have tanned, beautiful bodies. They're sticking their dicks out with their Speedos, and it's sexy. So it says swimming, volleyball, frisbee, football, sandcastle building, arcade games, and jury nullification outreach. That's going to be my favorite. I'm so lame. All the fun you can have in New Hampshire Beach in Speedos. Why? Because swim briefs are comfortable, quick drying, and allow for greater range of movement. And you're sexy, so show it off. So I think Neil created this event. Neil, I don't know, former co-host of Flaming Freedom, sometimes co-host. And I love it because I always wanted abs. Like my whole life, I was like, oh, as soon as you know what abdominal muscles are, you want them. And I never could achieve them. And never, I've been on the verge. Like you've said it before, like, oh, from a certain angle, when the light hits it just right in the bathroom after you get out of the shower, you can sort of see some definition in the abs. But I've never had full on like those other guys. So what Neil has done is create another Facebook page, which is Workout Accountability for Speedo Day. And the people who are scheduled to attend Speedo Day have our own accountability Facebook page where we're holding each other accountable as we craft our beach bods, and we look at this nasty fat ass in his Speedo as inspiration to not be that guy. Work hard.
That reminds me, Derek, I'm glad you brought that up because there was that post, which we talked about this before. I think we maybe talked about it on the show Flaming Freedom Shaves Everything, about how body positivity is a good thing. Not, being proud of who you are and being comfortable in your own skin and doing things to spread body positivity because you're not the ideal or whatever of what the culture looks for. But when you put other people down, that's when it bugs me. And this was happening again recently where there was a pro-bear post, which I'm all for pro-bear posts, but it was saying, oh, skinny guys are not men. They're little boys. Right?
Who said that?
That was in the comments.
Is this the one that I reposted?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that was disgusting. So one of our gay anarchists, Marcel Fontaine, he's known as Gay K47. Yeah, he's been on the show, and he posted this image of this fat guy all laid out on a bed, all like sleepy and drooling on his pillow. It's disgusting.
And it says skinny guys are outdated. Derek, you are outdated. I'm sorry, Derek, you're outdated.
What does that mean?
Get yourself a bearded, tatted, chubby guy.
Yeah.
And this is kind of on the upper end of chubby, I would say.
Yeah, he's fat.
He's kind of big. He's a big boy. But
can you show the image? Do you have it in front of you?
I can make it happen.
Make
It'll be a little small, but here, let me do this.
It'll be a little small.
Here, let me put this. Yeah.
Hey, meanwhile,
Uh-huh.
how do you like my facial hair? I started letting it grow in a little bit, not on purpose. It just, it does that. Oh, here's the image.
Yeah.
All right. So that guy's a tubster. And he's like clearly drooling on his pillow. Like it would be hot. Like he's got his arms up, like we're in bondage. Like
He'd have his eyes open and looking at us or something. I mean, that would be a little better right there.
no, but he's disinterested. He's got his fly open.
Yeah, I mean, he's not. This is not a sexy way to portray even a big guy. I mean, they could do a better way. But the point is that the original post has a lot of people calling guys who are skinny boys as opposed to men, right? Like saying they're not real men, or if you're not hairy, like smooth. This is body negativity. This is putting other people down to make yourself feel better.
But I want to engage in that tonight, Dale, and not to make myself feel better, but out of love for my fellow gay anarchists.
Okay.
Please be healthy. I love men of all sizes. You can be sexy at any size. However, it's not healthy to be obese. And I love you, and I want you to live a long, wonderful, sex-filled life. So,
so you don't have to have washboard abs. In fact, it's quite possible you're less healthy with washboard abs, depending on situation. But
just got out of the shower, excuse me.
Right. You don't have to be as skinny as Derek. You don't have to have washboard abs. You don't have to be, I mean, there's like a range of sizes that are probably well within the healthy range.
Right.
But like obese, then you're going to die sooner, most likely. Your odds of living a full, long life are significantly reduced if you are obese.
So as a little bit of accountability, so before we like move on totally, I am like naked in my underwear, basically. I want to have this be the starting point for the Speedo day. So I could be like, look at the transition. Okay, you work hard every day, you do your crunches and your squats and your push-ups, and then you get those rock hard washboard abs. I do not have them now. You can see that clearly. No abs right now. It's like it's flat, but it's like a little flabby. They're not filled in. They're not muscular. This is the Speedo that I want to wear. You saw the blue one already. Do you like the pink one or the blue one?
I like that one.
I like this one a lot. It's a little skimpier. I mean, like check out the ass, but it's not I'm not popping out of it at all, but I do sort of have this like gut sort of. It's not gut, but
you're gay fat. No, you're not. You're not gay fat.
That, but I got a little pudge, and this could get cleaned up. So I want this to be starting point. Like I'm not afraid of people seeing me like this, and it's not terrible looking, but I need to be a little bit tanner. I'm gonna work on that. I've got a gym membership that's got a tanning salon, and I'm gonna carve out these abs. So by July 26th, that's the event day. Yeah, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot all over.
Have washboard abs on Speedo day. I'm just going to try not to roll over onto my Speedo. You know what I mean? I'm just going to try not to have my stomach be like rolling over the edge of my Speedo, and I'll be happy.
Is this disgusting? I hate seeing guys shave like this.
You're rubbing it in. I can't grow a beard, so.
Well, I don't so do you like the look? Should I have a little bit of dirtiness on my face? It looks.
I'm a fan of that look myself.
Yeah, Brett Venat rocks it really hard. He rocks it well though. The thing you can't have is this stuff. Neck beard. Ugh. No. Not sexy at all. So
definitely shave your neck regardless. And then the rest you can do creative things with.
I've never done that. Confession time. I've never carved any kind of facial design. No mustache, no goatee, no sideburns, no nothing. I'm just.
I've never seen you with anything, really. You've always been clean shaven, to my recollection. It's
so dirty looking. Look! It looks like there's a little bit of dirt on my face. Like I don't do masculine very well, frankly. Well, let's get rid of that.
Speaking of that, what did you think of when Michael, when the Michael Fiend, or the Fiend group?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. What did you think of it when he says, like, I don't like effeminate older men, like they should butch it up or something like that?
He's so right. Yeah, that's not a good look. I mean, it's just
you're gonna butch it up when you get older, or is that the idea, or what's going on?
I'm not femme right now.
You're kind of femme.
No, I'm not. I'm a man.
Oh, all right.
I don't like wear makeup and dresses and stuff and have long hair.
I think he meant a little more strict than that.
No, I think he means like don't try and look like a woman when you're an old man. Especially that guy was bald. Hey, this is Flaming Freedom. We'll be right back. We're not judging you. I don't know why I felt the need to say that, but it's like
I'm probably gonna still be like grooming well and things when I'm older.
I'm gonna keep my hair short like I do now. Like I'm already sort of an adult. I've got my adult look. This is it for life. I'm just doing this.
All right. Because it was actually really close to when you had just posted a picture that looked kind of film.
Myself?
It was okay because you're still young, but he was implying that once you're old, you're not supposed to do it or something.
It's true. It's not a good look.
Okay.
He he can say that because he used to wear dresses.
Don't be yourselves. Do what is the good look.
Well,
needs to see.
This feels so good. I love having a clean shaven face. Wait, keep the camera on me so I can use this as a mirror. What's this? You know, guys, like when you're shaving, you like move your lips like you're
trying to get the skin tight.
Yeah. What's it gonna be like when I'm old though? Am I gonna like have to rip off half my face to get this?
I'm sure it gets harder because your skin gets looser and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen like my grandpa and his wrinkly face, and it's such a nightmare. I think about like how does he shave? I don't know. I'm afraid to ask though.
Yeah, that's a thing. You'll have to get laser or something.
Yeah. Or maybe by then I'll have enough facial hair it'll actually all grow in and it'll look good.
Maybe.
Now it does not. I think I like this. I like shirtless show. I'm not the ideal that I want to see, but I'm looking all right. I've been working out for for like a week, I guess. The beginning of the event. And I'm already seeing my titties pop a little bit. See? They've got a little bit of definition under there. Used to like flatness. Now I'm like, you can see them. There's
getting those big old muscular pecs.
Yeah, and look at so I do a lot of push-ups, and like my arms are not very big, but I hope that in 2 months they're going to be bigger than this. I'll eat that protein.
Yeah, a little. Just have reasonable expectations for 2 months. You know.
I know it's not like not.
So I'm saying I know I'm not going to have washboard abs. I am not going to have washboard abs.
Come on, in 2 months you could do that.
I don't want to. I don't want to make this a part-time. I've got other shit to do. I don't want to make it a part-time job that I'm going to have washboard abs.
You know, I spend about 10 minutes total, like working out every day. 5 minutes.
That's not going to get me. I doubt that'll get most people washboard abs, but definitely me at my age, it's not going to get me washboard abs.
Well, okay, so right now it's only like 10 minutes a day, but then when I add in the gym membership, I'll be running for like half an hour. So this will be like
maybe
a workout. Running
challenging goal.
No, running
that
it gets rid of your body fat is what I'm looking for. I got a little like my skin's too loose. It's the body fat thing.
That is crucial for washboard abs. But here's the thing: your body, you have to be at a very low body fat percentage because the male body, the last place that fat goes away is on your stomach. So like you'll have to burn fat everywhere else first, and you can't spot reduce. You can't just have it go away in your stomach unless you get liposuction. So
maybe you should do that.
A bunch of workouts and everything. You're gonna have to burn body fat all over until your body fat percentage is really low.
That's why running is a good idea. You need to do a lot of cardio, right?
Well, not too much, not really. And that's something that is getting debunked now. Like you really don't want to overdo cardio because cardio burns muscle. If you overdo it, you really want to go light on. You want to be the way you want to do cardio is in what they call wind sprints. Like you'll like you don't want to continuously be keeping your heart rate up. You want to get it up really high for spurts and then come back down.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Hey, gays. Flaming Freedom here. This is your head gay speaking, Derek J. We didn't mention that there's a cam for those listeners who are only at LRN.FM. Go check out flamingfreedom.com/live. There's a chat room. It's active right now. There's a lot of people. I'm signed in there. Dale, you're not in there yet, but hopefully soon will be.
I am in the chat room.
Why don't I see you? Your name isn't up there.
Posted for a while, maybe. Let me check.
You're a lurker. You're a chat room lurker. A voyeur of the chat room. So yeah, go join us. It's the chat room. Only if you're listening live. Thursday, April 23rd. It's 10 p.m. here on the East Coast. And Yeah, we were talking about chubby gays and the men who love them, the bears and the otters. Um, you know, I love them too. I'm not into that as a sexual thing, but I want them to live long, healthy lives. And colon cancer, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, liver disease.
Sometimes, and type 2 diabetes will make you fatter also. They're very synergistic, being fat and getting type 2 diabetes. Those two like help each other along. Once, being fat will make you more likely to get type 2 diabetes, and type 2 diabetes will make you more likely to get fat.
So I don't want that to happen to any of the gay anarchists, because this event, this Speedo Day at Hampton Beach, has me excited for the future of gay anarchists. Like, we're a culture that didn't really exist before, I don't know what, like 2000. When did Flaming Freedom start? 2011?
I think so.
So, like, I'm going to say that was the beginning of gay anarchy. There was really no gay anarchist culture before Flaming Freedom. And we carry the torch now every week. I don't see a gay culture anywhere else. There's what is it?
I wish you guys would lighten up a little bit, because like pressuring people to put on Speedos if they're not comfortable in them. And, it's definitely like being healthy. Like once you're healthy, if you want to make your fitness an obsessive sort of part-time job, that's fine, but don't pressure other people to do that. Like that's supposed to be the norm. That's kind of getting into, it's a little obsessive, and I don't necessarily that's necessarily that healthy. I'm a little worried that Speedo Day is just pushing people too far. Because that's a part-time job for most people.
No, it's not mandatory to wear a Speedo. I want to be clear. If anyone shows up and they're in swim trunks or they're in full clothes, covered from head to toe, not an inch of skin showing, I am cool with that. You're welcome. Come join and enjoy the show, right?
Right. That's cool.
Yeah. I'm all welcoming for that. But I do want to encourage and have like a high standard, because like part of anarchy to me, at being an anarchist and being a propagandist in a way, is setting the bar really high, is having high standards for myself and for others, and showing that this is the better way than statism. And part of that is like being healthy and showing how the benefits of being healthy and holding each other accountable. We don't need the state to help carve our bodies. We don't need Obamacare. We don't need Let's Move. We need each other and a plan and accountability, some public accountability, like what I'm doing here. I'm being like, look, I don't have the ideal of what I'm aiming for, and each week I'm going to keep working at it, and then eventually I will, and then I'll be able to show what a success that is.
Yep.
Ideally. So I want to also share, while we're talking about gay anarchists, check this out. There is the Gay Anarchist Facebook page. If you haven't already joined it, go ahead and do that. There's a few groups that have way more members than us, and I want to get to be one of those. I want to get to be one of those things. Here's that post you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
it is going to be Bear Week in Provincetown next week. So,
are you going?
No. But there's fun things like this cake that's
I would stick out like a sore thumb at Bear Week. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
I have like 8
stick out anywhere.
Like from the neck down, I have like 8 hairs somewhere. I don't,
Yeah.
Combine pits and pubes.
Yeah, so join this page. It's fun. Right now it's called Gay Anarchists for Pantsless Fighting, because I found this hilarious video. You can see at the top where like guys were straight guys, but they were going up and starting a fight, like a verbal confrontation, and they removed their pants. They were getting ready to fight.
I didn't hear much what you said, but because of Google Hangouts, but yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, join that page, because we do fun things like have a little gay anarchist outing. I want to show you some photos from a recent gay anarchist outing that I recently had. Check this out. I'm at a farm here in Walpole, New Hampshire, where one of the gay anarchists lives and works. It is a beautiful farm. Here's some gay anarchists, Joe Jarvis, and the gay anarchist who lives there, Chris Freeman. Check us out. We're playing with baby chicks.
Chris Freeman's in New Hampshire?
Yeah.
Oh.
He lives like...
I probably knew that. I guess probably forgot that. Okay.
15 minutes from me or something. So look, like baby chicks, yay, that's fun. It's cute. Come be a gay anarchist with us. We're developing this new culture, and I want you to be a part of it with us. So that's my spiel. That's all I've got for the gay anarchists. I've done enough plugs on that.
Cool.
Tell us what we're going to talk about tonight, Dale. We've got a ton of show topics. Huh?
We got clopping.
Ew.
We're going to talk about a Jewish trans man who was accepted and is going through bar mitzvah, the male bar mitzvah ceremony.
Yeah.
And all that. And I brought up the question, are they going to circumcise him?
They better not.
Not, but I'm just wondering, are they consistent about that?
No. I would excuse their lack of consistency for that.
I would too. I hope they don't do it. There's this guy that offended a bunch of people because he got upset that his pregnant wife had too much pubic hair.
Ooh.
He gets her in the tub and he's helping her trim it down. And I don't know. It's kind of funny.
What's bad about that? That's a legit concern.
Yeah. Well, you don't want the baby coming out looking like ZZ Top, right?
Jesus.
Imagine
a horrible image.
The baby gets tangled up on the way out, and they're having to like free the baby from the forest and all that. That wouldn't be good. And then there's a show called Ordained, which is about a guy, an atheist, who becomes ordained as a minister and then starts a cult. It's not great. I don't know if I want to recommend it. It's okay. It's low budget.
Did you see it?
YouTube thing. I saw the first episode. Yeah, I think there's 2 episodes.
Is he gay?
No, they're not a show. I don't know. It's a show. You know, it's not real. It's a show.
What's gay about it? I don't get it. I missed something.
It's anti-religion.
Oh, okay. You just like that.
Religious stuff deserves to be on the show. So, you wanted to talk about shitlib.
Oh yeah, let me pull that up. Have you seen that? You know what that is? Shitlib?
No.
It's like the face. You can sort of tell one of those social justice warrior liberal types by their face alone. Like I've started I saw a whole post like
condescending, I know everything and you don't.
Yes, you can see it. It's something of a combination of a lack of definition in the jawline plus an emptiness in the eyes that shows zero ability to think.
Yeah, it's all feels. It's all feels and how I feel about things. And there's an awful lot of that mindset involves being able to hold 2 positions at the same time that are contradictory to each other.
So I was hoping we could play a little game. I would show you a picture of a person and you would tell me, is this person a social justice warrior? And then I can verify that or not based on like Tumblr pages and profiles and stuff.
We've got even more stuff. We probably won't get to it all.
All right. When we come back, let's start judging some people.
Yes. I love it. There's this article, 12 Reasons Libertarian Women Are Not Getting a Good Libertarian Guy.
Oh, isn't that hilarious? I love that. That's Virgil Viduva.
I agree with quite a lot of them, like 2/3 or something.
Number 1 is you're a feminist.
And some of it comes across as typical libertarians having an unreasonable expectation of other people. If you raise your standards super high and like you have this long list of criteria that every single person has to meet before they're eligible to date you, then you might not get much. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying
I keep my standards low.
I'm not saying, well, it's not even saying don't have high standards about the things that really matter, but at the same time,
high standards for their body, high standards for their sexual ability, low standards for their philosophy.
well, and there's also like if someone's most of the way there, maybe you can get them the rest of the way. I think I could get for instance, deep down, I really want to reject anyone that has any sort of religion at all.
Yeah.
Like if you believe in anything, but on the other hand, if their religious stuff is more spiritual and like they kind of think there are other dimensions where our spirits live on or something, but it's not like it's still nonsense, but it's a lot more tolerable and I can deal with that versus if they're preaching ridiculous dogma based on shit that like sheep herders said 2,000 years ago. So I feel like I can like deal with the new agey woo woo a little better than the.
Why? What's the difference? It
depends. I mean, I've heard people say things. Oh, and the other thing is if they don't claim to know. mean, I don't know, but they kind of speculate that maybe there's life after death or something. Like, okay. I mean, I don't think we can't. None of us can like resist speculating about it. But to claim to know, like, oh, I found this book and this book says what happens, so I know what happens. I'm like, no, you don't. No one does. So, but anyway, there's that.
I gotta find the shitlib stuff before it
There's
gets...
also that we posted a woman this time as an experiment, as for the picture that we posted along with the topics thread.
Oh, that makes me so angry.
And it reached more people.
It reached 95% or something of our audience because she's got her nasty udders hanging out.
It wasn't necessarily our audience. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
No, our audience is gay. They don't need to see jugs. We need hot guys with the washboard abs. Why are they?
Yeah.
Why is Facebook messing with us? Do they know that these are, topless women?
It's ridiculously huge breasts, like awkwardly huge, and anyone would find that appealing is very strange to me. I mean, I honestly have a hard time understanding the appeal of breasts at all.
No,
Get that. Bags of fat. It's like loose, fatty bags, and I'm like, why is that sexually attractive to anyone? I don't understand it. I mean, I don't have to understand it, right? It's hormones, right? They're needed for babies to make babies, and that's what sex is all about. So that's why they're attractive. The end. That's the objective scientific explanation for why male hormones cause guys to be attracted to them. Well, whatever mind control hormones are going on. But it's not rational. It's not. There's nothing objectively rational about being attracted to that. At least look the male body. I look at it and it's practical. It's for doing everything except for having babies.
Yeah.
Where the woman's body is specialized for having babies and sacrifices everything else.
Hey,
better at that.
Come back.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Are you a shit lib? Short for shit liberal. Generally generally refers to advocates of politically correct speech and thought. They tend to be more concerned with language than reality and frequently conflate the two. Relatedly, they are quick to censor language or suppress the truth if it might hurt someone's feelings, as long as said someone isn't a white male. In a sentence, I was sitting at this tech conference with my buddy and made an innocent joke about dongles when some negress in front of me got offended, started crying about rape, tweeted my picture, and cost me my job.
Did he say negress?
That's what it says in the sentence at Urban Dictionary.
All right. Oh my God.
So yes, my intention is not to offend. I was just reading that for the first time. So
I understand.
Yeah.
You didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't use that word in polite company or otherwise. So that's not me. But anyway. So yeah, I found this. I don't know how this came across. Probably because of the Libertarian Brutalism page, which I don't even know why I'm a part of that, but it got added, and I can't look away sometimes. It's like a train wreck.
Are you going to show me pictures and let me decide?
Yes. Okay. So
you have to describe it to me. I'll just know. It might gut.
I think you'll know just from looking. So here we've got the first one. You tell me, is this a shit lib or is this a regular person, a normal person like the rest of us?
A regular person. Okay, let's see.
A respectable, we'll call him. What do you think? Shit lib or respectable person?
Oh, it's. I guess I was expecting women. So that's horrible. That was a horrible thing for me to say.
White males. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that a shit lib?
Clock's ticking here, Dale. We don't have all day.
Yes.
It should be painfully obvious this is a shit lib. Yes. Look at his shitty grin, smile. Unfortunately, he does have a well-defined jawline
or something and all. And I was like, that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So next one.
Okay.
Shit lib or regular person?
Regular person.
Yes, you got that one correct.
Hot one too.
And he's hot. Okay, shitlib or regular person?
Regular person.
Yes. Are you noticing a trend? They're all hot. Regular people are sexy, and
That would be
shitlib-
offensive. See, if that was a shitlib to dress to just be hot and stuff, because you're making other people feel ashamed of their bodies, which isn't nice. So,
What?
I don't know. Anyway,
Okay. I've got another one here. Is this a shitlib or a respectable?
shitlib for sure.
How'd you know?
Oh, look how condescending. Like, oh my God. Like, she knows everything, and like, how dare you? Like, I'm so upset with the world for being wrong about things and not agreeing with me about all the things that I know are right.
Yes, you are correct. Okay.
Yeah. That was pretty clear. Yeah.
Is,
But now I actually see a correlation between the first picture and that one now.
you can tell in their faces, right? Is this a shitlib or a regular person?
Probably a shitlib.
Yep, you got that. You're so far. You are what, 6 for 6? It's obvious that you can tell from the faces. This is becoming a genetic morphing thing. I think it's like a predetermined.
Kind of a brainwashed effect. It's a brainwashed look.
Or are you a shit liberal? It is a brainwashed look. Okay,
Well, it's culty. It's a culty thing. Like, they know everything.
shit lib or regular person?
It's like, I just kind of automatically want to say it because they're unattractive or whatever. But I think shitlib.
Yes, you got it. Another shit lib. How did you know? This guy.
Exactly.
Okay, ready? Shit lib, regular person.
Regular person.
Dale, we gotta end this game. You're too good at this. Why don't I just share out with all of you this whole page, this thread that goes for miles? Here's another one. Let's see.
You're picking the regular people though.
Yeah, I'm picking the regular people. They're my preference. Shit libs, regular people.
Yeah, shitlibs.
Come on, it's obvious. I'm gonna give you a tough one.
Okay.
Here's one. Just don't look at his shirt. Just look at his face. Shit lib or regular person?
Yeah, shitlib.
Yeah, you knew it. Now you can look at his shirt.
I think I recognize him though. That's the problem. I think I recognize his face. Like, I think I've seen people talk, like, debunking his retarded statements on YouTube or something. So that's not really fair. I think I already knew he was a shitlib.
All right. I'm gonna try and really mix it up. I'm gonna try and give you a really hard one. Okay, ready? Shit lib or regular?
Okay. I think he's a shitlib.
How'd you know?
I just think I think there's that condescending, like, I'm really smart and I know it kind of look.
Yeah, so I want to find out. So the person who posted that image says their faces attempt to look like they're transcending a higher realm of thought, but all that shows is the empty, neotenous eyes of an empty, kind of creepy sterility. That's true.
This is actually going to transition into a topic I want to talk about very well. But I'm just going to hold that thought until we're done with this topic. But yeah,
I've got a couple more images
because I had an experience with this a little bit this week. So
here's a tricky one: respectable or shitlib?
Oh God,
you recognize this person?
I do. I know them from somewhere.
This man is a Republican running for president.
Isn't that a Republican candidate?
He is a Republican, but that doesn't mean he's not a shit lib.
All right. I don't know.
All right.
I'm calling because I know he's a Republican candidate. So
no, he's not. He's a shit lib. Okay, and here's another. This man's a priest. He's got to be a respectable, right?
Well,
that trustworthy smile, that symmetrical face.
No, I think he's a shit lib.
You got it. He's a shit lib. You are 100% on this, Dale. I think you've really got.
I don't know this one. Like, so most of them
walking down the streets of Boston, I think you'll be able to tell.
Yeah. Well, if you go down Boston, that's like 2/3 of the. More than that, maybe. Okay. They migrate to Boston.
About this fine young smile. Shapeless face.
The thing is, like, I feel like I feel like I have an unfair advantage here. Like, I wouldn't necessarily assume this person is a shit lib by just looking at him. In this particular context of you showing me these pictures, I would think he's a shit lib.
Yeah, you got it. So one of the other interesting things about this is a lot of these photos came from a social justice warrior meetup. Where there's a Toronto Facebook or it's a Reddit group, and I wanted to share this screenshot of it with you. Check this out as the commenters on Reddit describe all these photos from the meetup were like. Yep, the crowd looks exactly as I would have expected. White? My thoughts exactly. And then the person's like, it's up to each individual to show up. And no, all they see is color. And I just think it's shitty because
they'll say things like for instance, if you use any for instance, gay guys using the mannerisms of black women, which is a thing, right? I'm a strong black woman or whatever. Yeah. They got upset about that. Like you're co-opting and confiscating or something the black culture or whatever. I'm like, that is why? How are we not individuals, and how am I not allowed to act how I want? Right?
Well, because this guy, because of the shitlibs, they've made up their minds about you, Dale. And here's how I know he's a shitlib. Here's what he tweeted: there are 3 types of people: feminists, people who hate women, and people who don't know what feminist means.
Shitlib.
Total shitlib. And I say there's 2 types of people: feminists and those who like women.
So this came up because I said that the feminist movement was irrational this week, right? Yeah. Now, and the conversation I had, it actually ended on a fairly amicable note, which I really like about that because it was with a libertarian. So I feel like they're just more reasonable to talk to and everything. So we ended on an amicable note, but it started out like I said that the feminist movement was irrational, or that feminists were irrational, and this came up. Is the music playing?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and I think that's okay to say about an ideology, right? As opposed to say like white people are a certain way, women are a certain way, but an ideology you can say that.
LRN.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Ideology is defined by certain tenets, and if those tenets are irrational, then the ideology is irrational, right? And whether, but see what happens if you, I shouldn't be blowing my wad. I should say it before we come.
I'm gonna do some push-ups because I feel like it's
okay.
Push-up time.
What do people in the chat room want to hear from me while Derek is doing push-ups? People in chat room and people watching us on YouTube. Someone said the feminism thing is nauseating. I agree with you. I could talk about feminism for so long because I've just seen so much bullshit. It's just, oh my God. Who wants me like a specific aspect of this subject? Is there something that people want me to talk about? Because I don't want to blow my wad before the show comes back. Yeah, chat room folks are not helping me out. They're probably hearing me on a delay, so I have to wait for them to hear this. Good job. Good job, Derek.
My boobs bigger?
Yes, they're already bigger.
That's what I was doing. You know, I was like looking at this cam and I was like, my boobs are really flat. It's not the look I want yet.
I work out. My pecs are actually pretty responsive. What's not responsive on me is like my biceps, back, like doing chin-ups and pull-ups.
I got a good back. My back, I don't have to do anything. I mean, it's not like...
I have a hard time just getting to the point where I can do a lot of pull-ups and chin-ups, even if I try really hard every week to work on that. My body's just really slow to respond in that way. But my titties, they respond pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I'm afraid of is I see a lot of old guys, like really old men. Sorry, my battery got knocked out. Hold on.
You're worried about boobs? I think he's worried about boobs when he gets older.
Yeah, I'm really worried about boobs. Well, if you work out, if you have pecs, hold on. My battery's like, it's all fucked up.
I think nipples are kind of weird on guys. Does anyone think nipples are weird on guys? Like if you're going to have your boobs...
nipples are a huge, sexy thing for me.
Let's say if you were going to have your boobs removed, like you had a little bit of extra boobage when you got a lot older and they were bothering you, so you wanted to go have surgery to get your extra boobage removed, which is a doable thing. It's actually easier if they just remove your nipples. Otherwise, they have to like move them and stuff. I know this from like trans guy surgery when they get top surgery. I think if I had to do that, I would just say just remove them. Just get rid of the nipples. I would look more masculine because nipples are a girl thing. Aren't nipples a girl thing?
No, nipples are an everyone thing.
I mean, everyone has them, but guys have smaller ones.
I love them. I'm crazy about them. It's probably my most erogenous zone. I've got mine pierced.
Yeah, I see that.
I wanted to have
I
the
used to
more
be
sensitive.
on that, but I mean, like, I don't know. Every now and then, like, just when something's rubbing against them and it's annoying me, I'm like, I almost just wish I didn't have it. Like, nah, just no nipple.
No, that's the thing. Like, I was having sex this week, and the guy was giving me a blowjob, and I'm not huge on blowjobs. It's not my thing. I'm like not crazy about it. I know it sounds weird, but it's like, no. Play with my nipples. That's the ticket. That's the real winner.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, even better than a blowjob. Isn't that like? It sounds nonsensical, but it's true.
Well, they are sensitive, and I've enjoyed stimulation there. But for the most part, I think I'd be okay with just not having them.
Yeah, that would look really weird. I would love to see that though.
.com. What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It is 1990, and you are listening to Darude Sandstorm. Welcome back to the Gay Narcist Show, Flaming Freedom.
So,
nipples, are they a guy thing? Dale is getting his nipples removed.
no, I'm not. But if I ever get to where I have boobage that needs, I don't think I'm going to get there, I hope. But if I get older and I start having boobage, I'll just take off the nipples with everything else. If I had to get surgery.
Body modification surgery is going to get so cheap over the years. I mean, it's already pretty affordable. What was it? Neil with an I was talking about the different eye surgery that you can get over in Brazil, like for $3,000 or something. That's amazing. That's like
a guy that he's using as a reference, though. Like, there's a guy who did it, and Neil loves the outcome. He wants to look like that. That guy had 10 surgeries. So I think Neil might have unreasonable expectations of what's going to happen from.
Oh, he thinks like one surgery that's $3,000 and he's going to look Asian.
Right. And this guy had
looks pretty white.
This guy had like 10 surgeries. So I worry a little bit, like how obsessive is this going to be to like try to look Asian?
All people who go through plastic surgery go through it again. Like no one can stop and have it be enough. They're like, oh, that was okay. I'm going to do that more. And then it just never stops. What we were saying before, excuse me, so rude. I shouldn't cough in the mic. Is like my titties weren't popping enough in the cam. I'm like, I don't usually do the show shirtless, but now I'm seeing myself like as a mirror and I'm like, oh, that's really flat. So I did some push-ups. I forget where I'm even going with that. I don't even know. Fuck it. What was your topic?
So we were talking about this thing that happened, and I said feminists are irrational. And this woman blew up at me, and she says, you're being dismissive of me. And I said, no, I'm not being dismissive. Being dismissive assumes, you're assuming that I have not educated myself and that I know what I have an opinion on. You can disagree with it. You say, no, I'm not irrational, and here's why, and give me an argument, like, or ask me why I think they're irrational, and then counter me and say, no, we're not because of this. But her thing was, you're just dismissive of us. She wasn't, I wasn't even allowed to say that. But it's an ideology, and an ideology can be irrational. If I'd said that about women, that would be sexist. But here's what bugs me is feminists just sort of conflate. And if you say something about feminists, they conflate that with women. Most women aren't feminists, don't want to be called feminists. So no, I'm not talking about women when I talk about feminists. And in fact, a lot of men, there's a fair chunk of men that are feminists. So I'm not just talking about women.
Right. What did you say that pissed her off so much?
I said they're irrational.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. An ideology can absolutely be irrational.
No, and we didn't get into arguing about it because no one seemed interested in actually discussing whether or not, why I held that opinion or anything like that. No one, it didn't ever go to that level. Then we would have discussed ideas.
I'm curious. Why don't you tell us why feminism is irrational?
Well, because it's based on the movement itself has always pushed for special rights for women. It hasn't really ever taken the equity of the genders into account. Even first wave feminism didn't, for instance, attempt to address conscription when it was talking about getting the vote for women, which is fine, get the vote for women, but you should also have been trying to either end conscription for men or make it consistent. And there are a bunch of things. And there's the idea of the patriarchy, right? The idea that men throughout history have dominated women and to exploit them for their own personal gain. And that fails to take into account gynocentrism, which is that women are the center of the world. That human survival has depended on protecting women, providing for women, dying for women if necessary, making incredible sacrifices for the sake of women and children. And
I feel like
that into account, then and you look at it with tunnel vision, then you can see men as this evil force that are just trying to control women, but it's just not the case. And then they ignore everything. They ignore all the evidence, and a lot of it's very objective. That women have, there are perks to being a woman. There's power that women have. And they make it out that only men have power. It's absurd, and therefore men are responsible for all the bad things in the world, and so on. So I could get into have a long discussion about all of this, but it's an ideology. It's not a group of people, right? A group of people that from some factor that's beyond their control, like their gender or their race. I wouldn't want to group people in that way. I wouldn't make assumptions about someone because they're black or because they're a woman. But if you're a Christian, I am going to make certain assumptions about you because that's a belief system.
right.
You believe certain things. And if I think those beliefs are irrational, I will say Christianity is irrational. And that makes more sense than saying women are irrational. That would be ridiculous. Right?
Follow. I feel like I wish I disagreed with you more because it would like pull more of the discussion out, but I'm just like, yep, I agree. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. but yeah, so that's kind of where it went, so I really just had to have this meta discussion, right?
Were you having a discussion with yourself on Facebook, like a TL?
No. We just went back and forth. But it became a meta discussion about discussions, right? Or can I even call something irrational? And my point was, yes, if it's an ideology, I can. And that's what feminism is. You know, it's one of these things that's sold a certain way, like just like Mormonism, right? The Mormons will tell you the stuff that doesn't sound too crazy at first to get you to join. And then after you're in for a while, you'll find out stuff like, oh, you're going to become a god after you die, and you're going to own your own planets, and there are levels of heaven, and you can reach higher levels of heaven by doing certain things. You know, the really, really kooky stuff you don't find out right away. They rein you in with like stuff that sounds very pretty close to other religions or whatever. It's all pretty.
The thing about that is like ideologies that know they're crazy, like Scientology and Mormonism. They don't let you know those things that are crazy about them right away. They do wait, and that to me indicates some level of self-awareness that this is crazy.
Like what is the cell line on feminism? It's you believe in equality of the genders.
Right.
But you're a feminist. Well, that makes me a feminist.
Don't take the bait. They've got more crazy on the
No, the crazy comes later. That's a salesman's line. That's the tagline to get you in feminism. But that's not what it. Then you find out the crazy stuff.
Who's that girl from Harry Potter? She was recently on like, we're all feminists and we just need men to just join this feminist group and blah blah blah.
Women have all these problems and men don't, and men have all the power and men can fix everything. It's the most disempowering philosophy I can imagine for women. I can't imagine if I listened to feminists, I would just have no respect for women.
Why are we talking about them? We should just ignore them and like let them go and do their.
Good luck with that. They got the mainstream media by the balls.
Like I watched the mainstream.
Not feminists. Not even most women. Most women like, what's that?
Claiming freedom is not mainstream, so you don't need to discuss them.
No, but I'm just saying that you can. I mean, ignoring them isn't going to do any good.
Why? I don't care about them. I ignore the government. I ignore feminists.
Yeah, you can. You can. I suppose you can. I don't know.
Fuck them.
If it makes you feel better.
Go be crazy. Like I ignore Christians. Like I don't go and be like, oh, Christians are so wrong. I'm going to talk about them all day. Fuck them. Let them do their crazy shit.
We're on a talk show though. I mean, we discuss things, and the stuff that is controversial is the most interesting stuff to talk about.
It's Emma Watson. Thank you, Roger, in the chat.
Yeah, Emma Watson.
Yeah.
I watched this video. I wouldn't even link people to it because it has some stuff in there that would be that I wouldn't want to necessarily promote. He gets kind of crude at times, but he talks about how there's a tactic to feminism, and that is that like if you look at the feminists, like the young feminists are they're just transitional. Like they're being recruited in college to be like spokesmen because they're young and pretty.
Ooh.
And eventually they snap out of it and they stop being feminists. Like 80% of women are not feminists. That's the thing. And then like the ones who are like lifelong feminists are like hideous. They're like, I think he called them land whales, which is a horrible thing. But yeah, it's like a thing that's like a phase that young people go through, and then they snap out of it. They start, I was a feminist when I was young. Young people
said I was a feminist at some point.
Being indoctrinated in college into certain ideas, but then they get exposed to a lot more stuff once they get out of college, and they start thinking for themselves and so on. And yeah, it's a phase for a lot of people.
All right, give me something else. I'm done with feminism.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. So clopping.
Oh God, I'm afraid of this. This is why do bronies masturbate to ponies?
Yeah.
Ew.
There's a whole video where he talks about this.
I'm sorry. I think that's gross. I think it's weird. I like yaoi
for this topic. Hold on.
But yaoi is at least men. Like it's the shape of men. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot. We got to do this thing. Should we put on a little song or something? Well,
we have to have appropriate gear. If you have background music, that's fine.
Oh, here comes some music. This is our outro music. All right, we're going to get dressed as furries, and we're going to talk about clopping. Disgusting. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just a choice. It's a thing some people are into, and I won't be judgmental of it. I will just accept it and learn. Because, who knows what weird shit I might be into when I'm older.
You might be into bronies.
Do you know the difference between erudite?
Ugh. Bronies.
Have you tried fapping like this? Fapping like this, Derek?
No. Let me get my panda hat.
Woo. All right.
Do you like my panda hat?
I like it. I think it suits you well, especially when you're shirtless. How do you like this? How do you like my raccoon?
Your raccoon looks lovely. Here's my.
I can reach my wiener with it.
Me too.
It gets that far.
Should we do it?
Should we fap on the air? Like, if we keep our genitals off screen, I think it'll be okay.
I don't think YouTube will flag this.
How will they know? They don't even know. We could be faking it. We could be doing it for real. They won't know.
Yeah. Who knows? You would see though. I would get hard in my
on your mitts. Once you get your mitts, you just throw it in the washer. It's fine.
Oh, I wanted to talk about this. I got big balls, by the way. You can kind of see them. And I'm wondering, is there a thing? We should talk about this on air. Is it really a thing that guys who have big balls are more courageous? I'm freaking courageous. I'm not afraid to say that.
I think there's a thing that guys with big balls are hornier.
They're horny.
Horny guys will go to greater lengths to impress people that they want to attract.
No, but you know that expression, like, he's got big balls. Where did that come from? And is there a correlation between courage and balls?
Your balls are the source of your testosterone. And testosterone could be associated with risk-taking, certainly. There seems to be definitely a correlation between having testosterone flowing through your body and being engaged in more risk-taking behavior. But then again, do we know for sure that is nature or nurture? Maybe that's guys just being taught, but I don't know. I mean, look at nature. If you look at nature, you look at animals where there's no indoctrination. They're all instinct and hormones, and there's nothing. You look at animals, the males compete with each other, engage in these like mating rituals to impress the women.
Yeah.
And sometimes the males will build these elaborate bird nests and everything, and certain birds will build this elaborate bird nest to try and impress the females, and
they dance.
The males go to all kinds of effort. Every single female is going to get laid. Every single one is going to get impregnated. It's just a matter of which male she's going to allow to do it. And all the males won't get laid. And they know that the ones that don't get laid know that their genes aren't going to propagate. They know on some level, subconsciously, you know, in their drives or whatever. They're not thinking about it, but on some level, that drive is so strong because failing to succeed in that process means death of their genes. The death of their genes, and that's.
Why don't gay people feel the same sense of?
I think we do. It's just directed differently.
I'm gonna keep trying to have babies.
Yeah, you're trying to you're getting out there and trying to get impregnated by those black dudes that you think are worthy of your womb.
Yeah, I do want black babies.
Yeah, you're like, I want my male babies to have those big old wieners, and
I do, and be sexy and just everything about black guys. I just love them. I love them.
I don't know.
I'm crazy about them. I found all 5 black guys in New Hampshire, and I'm trying to shop around.
Found all 5 of them. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I've been on dates with each of them, and you know, now I just have to choose. It's like The Bachelor.
Cool.
Which one will get the rose? Actually, you know what's weird is one of them has been the first experience that I have topping. Well, like not the first experience.
Brought up. Hold that thought. Someone in the chat room said, Clarence, maybe taking risks makes your balls grow.
Yeah, maybe. No, I've always had big balls, and I never really knew it. I don't know. I saw other guys' balls and was like, I knew mine were big, but.
Well, the new thing to say in order to be more equitable, and I kind of like this one, is having the ovaries.
What?
Take some mighty big ovaries to do that, right? To be more equitable. Saying someone did something brave or whatever, and you say, "Oh, I took some mighty big ovaries."
I'm okay with that, but like,
I think it's cute, just as a change of pace.
All right.
Maybe big ovaries give people courage, and we just don't know because we can't see them, so we don't know. Like that woman who's really courageous, she had mighty big ovaries, and we didn't know.
No, it would be like she's got a big vulva. Something. There's got to be something that you can measure here.
No, I don't. You could measure the ovaries maybe with like sonogram or something.
An ultrasonic.
Ultrasonic, yeah, sonogram.
Whatever that's called. Ultrasound.
I think it's a sonogram. No. Yeah, it's ultrasound.
Yeah. So, do we have a video for these bronies? Are we going to show that?
There's a long video, but there's nothing worth showing. Wouldn't know what part to show. It's just a guy talking and showing clips of bronies and talking about why guys fap to them.
You know, there was a documentary crew that was here today. I gave them a tour of the Keen Activism Center.
Cool. What were they doing a documentary on?
Freedom.
Who were they with?
Can't really talk about it. I signed a release, but I could tell you that. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
We'll find out later, I guess.
Yeah, you'll totally find out. But you know, for now. It was cool.
I'm about to cut off all my ties with Keen soon. Not selling my house.
Yay! I'm happy for you, Dale. I know you've been wanting to do that for a long time.
It's fairly inevitable at this point. It's just it might be tomorrow, but it might get delayed a little bit. But it won't be delayed much, like a few days maybe.
It's just paperwork, right?
Yeah. But and I'm supposed to go down tomorrow, but there's a decent odds that it'll get delayed a few days. But it was going to happen in May, so it got pushed way up. Yeah. So I was expecting May, and then yeah. So that's good. I mean, I could still come down, but it'll be not out of an urgent need because of something I have to deal with, which always sucks. Like if I go down, it'll be to see someone or do something or something like that, and that's fine. But I hate driving down there.
Let it be for fun. Like come visit me at the thrift store.
Yeah, I'm not gonna drive an hour and 15 minutes to do that though. If I have another reason to go, I don't know. I'm sorry,
Dale.
I'm sorry.
Please, we have free coffee.
Yeah, I'll drive an hour and 15 minutes for free coffee. Yes.
Come on. We do have a really cool Bitcoin machine now. We just got a Lamazoo in there.
That's very cool.
I had a couple people come in and use it today too.
Cool.
Yeah. So, I'm pretty cool.
Obviously cool. Look at our hats.
We're so cool.
Cool we are. We're the coolest kids on the block. Do any of you have raccoon hats and panda hats? Huh? Do ya? Hello.
We're wearing furry hats. I got myself a panda head on my head.
We are not getting any dates from this tonight. That's for sure. But we have to wear these because we're talking about clopping.
Yeah, what is clopping, Dale?
It's not to be confused with clapping. It's everyone's heard of fapping.
Yes.
If you fap to My Little Ponies, it's called clopping.
Ew.
And the bronies all know this term, even if they don't want anything to do with it. That's what I've heard. That's what this video.
Like the term? Is it a negative term?
Well, it's just weird, right? So,
Yeah.
and even the ones who do it, and according to this video, there's a lot of them that do it, but they won't admit to it. I don't know. I'm not a brony.
What's your preferred term for masturbating? What do you like?
I think fapping is probably okay.
Fapping. Have you ever fapped to artistry, like purely art that is either drawn? It's like lines on a page. It's a painting. It's like not a real thing.
Yes, especially if it's creative. I actually sometimes can go for weird stuff, like
stuff you would never be into in like a video or something.
Guys who are half kind of demonic. I always said like if I were going to be a furry, I would be into like I would want to have like a tail, like a prehensile tail and little horns and what else? Fangs. Fangs would be kind of hot. I think fangs would kind of suck for blowjobs though. It's hard enough not to put your teeth on someone and if you had fangs, it'd be even harder to like not, that would make the blowjob not so great.
Retractable fangs.
Yeah, if they were like True Blood where you could retract them, but that's kind of cheesy. I mean, fangs, you either got them or you don't.
So I say this because some of the first porn that I was ever into was hentai and yaoi stuff. I was like, what I discovered on the internet was like, oh my gosh, there are these images of really sexy drawings and like
that guys who are kind of really submissive and a little bit effeminate.
Yeah,
with other guys or something.
Yeah, it's like gay love. It's just like young gay high school love or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was into. I was in high school and I was like, oh, hot guys, and
I can see that.
But they are human.
Right. these are ponies. Well, his explanation is about his thing is that they're so anthropomorphized. He says if you look at them, they're moving around like people, they're gesturing like people, they have faces that are very people-like. And then when someone draws them in a sexual manner, they gives them vaginas and boobs and things like that that are totally human. And he says when you're fapping and stuff to porn, you're looking at this 2D image on the screen, you're already focused on specific things like vagina, boobs, cute face, things like that. And he says they're so anthropomorphized that's why people can get that way. And then
I'm believing that because why would it be important that they are bronies at all? If that were the case, you would just fap to pictures of vagina and cute.
Well, because they're of the characters themselves, and like they have these very vivid personalities.
Oh, this is like when people are into like Bart Simpson porn and stuff. They're like, oh, it's the character. I like the character. I've seen this on at all, but they will like choose cartoon characters, which arguably could be characters.
We have a fan on the show. And he's a real regular as far as writing in. Like he talks on our Facebook a lot, and I think he's pretty sure he's straight.
Who is this?
And I'm not going to say a name, but he's definitely a brony. And I'm curious if he would admit to clopping.
Totally. Why wouldn't they?
I wonder if he would do that. And that's not saying any names, because that way he might feel more comfortable to tell me or not.
Call in. Tell us about your clopping experiences. Skype us at Flame.
He writes us all the time. He's a real big fan of the show. He writes us on an almost weekly basis, if not more. And but I don't know if he would ever call in.
So should we I'm sort of curious. Like, send me people. No, don't send me.
I think I've seen one or two images of like explicit My Little Pony.
Oh, I've seen a lot. Have you seen our chat room before? They're all bronies. They're all, yes, the chat room is like all sending me pictures of these ponies with vaginas and huge tits.
Awesome.
I'm not into it. Bart Simpson porn is a thing.
Not even into human vaginas, much less a brony vagina.
It's so weird. Yeah, no, I would come across the Bart like all of the cartoons that exist have porn. All of them mainstream things. But at least still they are human.
Right.
The other thing about that is like it verges on child porn territory because Bart is a 4th grader.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I did see something. I wouldn't call it porn. It was just a funny cartoon, but it was explicit, and it was Bart and Milo. What's his name? I haven't watched in a while. I used to know all this.
Who are you talking about? Is it from The Simpsons?
His nerdy friend.
Nelson. Oh wait, no, he's the bully.
Nelson's the bully, yeah.
Milton or something? I forget.
Anyway, I saw them doing it.
It was a gay Bart
Marge and Bart together or something.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, you know, one of the weird things is
funny though. I didn't think anyone was like aroused by that. I thought it was just humorous because it's so wrong, right? It's just so wrong. That's why it's funny.
Well,
whatever.
I want to look up some of these funny titles. I work at a libertarian-owned thrift store. I've talked about this before. 101 Deals thrift store in Keene, New Hampshire. And one of the things that we came across to sell, we resell things, like buy them at storage auctions, sometimes bid on what are those things called? The storage things. Storage areas that people and they default on them and then their stuff gets sold. So we came across some porn books and had to sell them. Oh, damn, I wish I could find some of these titles. But, like, they got flagged by eBay because eBay doesn't let you... You can sell porn, but you cannot sell porn that has anything to do with incest. And, like, they have names like My Brother's Keeper or...
Lord.
Yeah, I'm going to look up some of these titles.
Well, not all of it. I have seen twincest that was for real. That's very rare. There are these twins from, like, East Europe or something who are they flat out said they're a couple. Like they're together when they're not on porn. So they do porn and they're like, yeah, we'll have sex with each other. We do it all the time anyway. And they're identical twin brothers. And that's the only one I've seen. But for the most part, you see any of that stuff is fake. People, you know, oh, we're brothers. And they find two guys that sort of look kind of similar, like you might buy it. I don't know. They're not brothers. It's not real. It's so stupid.
So, bronies, I don't judge them. They should just let their freak flag fly. Is there a brony, like, symbol or armband or something? Like, the gays have the rainbow flag. Do the bronies have something?
That's a good question. What might I don't know.
Paw print?
There should be a hoof. It'd be a hoof, right?
Yeah, because the right. Clop.
Realistic My Little Pony. We should play that video. That's really short.
Okay.
The scientifically accurate My Little Pony.
You play that?
I'll find it.
The raunchy porn titles while you do that.
I'll do that because the scientifically accurate My Little Pony is pretty hilarious. Ponies are actually pretty gross, as it turns out.
I wonder if there's a way I can find just the porn titles. It's hard to find.
Found it.
All right.
I'll have to pause it and then arrange the screen appropriately. But
one of the titles is called Rape Revenge. That's the other thing that eBay won't let you have is anything that has to do with rape. And I'm like, I get it. I'm for these restrictions that eBay has, but we have to like list our titles as something else. But that's the name of the books. And like this one guy is buying all of it. It's hilarious. I don't know if I should let all the listeners know this stuff behind the scenes.
All right, when we come back, I'll play the scientifically accurate My Little Pony.
Okay, and what else do we have?
I'll play it during. Well,
What about the Jewish guy? We're going to talk about his Jewish conversion and whether or not they're going to snip his penis. And what about you being a Nazi groomer? You're a grooming Nazi.
yeah, I'm a grooming Nazi.
I want to get into that.
Okay.
All right, this is Flaming Freedom. More kink when we return.
When I found the Free State Project, I knew it was the key to achieving liberty in my lifetime. It's
Why
awesome
can't I
to be
find these
surrounded by
books?
like-minded.
I don't see any of them. Maybe they all sold.
Is that something we get flagged about if I play a video?
Yeah, kind of.
I might just play a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And it's okay, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're.
Here's some of the titles. Gay Deceivers. By Flesh Possessed. Class of 69.
This is porn?
These are porn books. They're novels.
Oh,
They're literature.
okay.
Sugar Bush. Frug Me Again. Balling Around. Confessions of a Lesbian Coed. The Flesh is Weak. Under, Over, and Around. Oh, this one got flagged. My Brother, My Lover.
I can see that a little.
Here's one. Raw Backside. Ooh, Big Mouth. The Cocktail Maid. Oh, this one also got flagged for being underage. Loretta is only 16. What else do we got? Holiday for Sex. The Aphrodisiac Affair. Oh, this one. I wanted to read this one. Black Sex Power.
All right, cool.
It's like Black Power, but Black Sex Power.
I read a book. The last porn book I can recall reading, I think I read something called The Slave Prince. And it was about this prince who's like away from the castle and out in the woods. He's kind of not supposed to be, right? But he is. He's off by himself. And he gets kidnapped by this like warrior who doesn't realize he's the prince and doesn't believe him when he's telling him or something. So he kidnaps him and just enslaves him, turns him into a sex slave. And then it's kind of stupid. Most of them are pretty stupid.
Slave stuff is sexy. I'm into that.
Yeah.
I loved it. There was
The chastity device almost right away. He like takes all of his clothes off and throws them in the river, and then like puts them in a chastity device and then like throws him on his horse and rides off.
Is chastity kind of like a new thing? I don't see much in the way of like vintage porn.
Yeah, it must be relatively. I mean, I think a lot of stuff is new just because it's niche enough that people only know about it now because of the internet.
Right.
It's like brought groups together, and then people find out about it, and then they get into it too. They're like, oh, this exists. Oh, okay, I'm kind of into that now.
Right.
That's what happens.
I got a few more titles. You want to hear them?
Okay.
The Sexperts. Thrills on Capitol Hill. And here's the last one.
Uh-huh.
The Big Bang.
Yeah. Okay.
I
The
thought
Big Bang could be any type. That could be straight. I mean, that could be anything.
a lot of this porn is straight.
Mm.
That's like mostly straight. I think the
Okay.
stuff is like accidental.
I see. And this is stuff that was at the thrift store or something?
Well, like with the merchandise that we buy, sometimes it comes in bulk, and you get a lot of stuff that you flip through it, and you're like, oh, look what we
If
got.
you enjoy
Like, one of the things we got was a whip, and I tested it out. I asked one of the other employees to like test it on me, see if it was going to be good. So then I had Rich Paul take the whip, and I took my shirt off, and he gave me a whipping that left marks.
Damn. All right then.
First try too. The other guy was a wimp. He was a pussy. He wouldn't give me the whip like a real man.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, give it to me.
I'm going to play a little bit of scientifically accurate My Little Pony.
Okay.
All right, let me cut to the thing. Not too much though, because
We got flag.
yeah.
Scientifically accurate, My Little Pony. Ah, My Little Pony.
What's
Village ponies would not be fun to visit. Because everywhere you walk, you'd step in pony shit. Get little problems.
Anyway,
why is it what's scientifically accurate about them? Like,
well, what they're doing is they're talking about actual ponies, like what ponies are really like in real life, as opposed to what they're depicted as in this.
Scientifically accurate is like a series, right? They've done scientifically accurate Ninja Turtles.
Sonic the Hedgehog. Hedgehogs are disgusting. They are so disgusting, and they get rabies and horrible things. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do weird poop stuff and just all kinds of things. I think they eat their own poop or something. They're gross. They're disgusting.
And Knuckles is an echidna. Knuckles is like Sonic's friend.
Yeah. Okay.
They have 4 penises.
Yeah. Yeah. They have a penis and like 4 things coming out of it. A long
flower.
Yeah.
Disgusting flower. And
ducks have ducks have this like corkscrew, really long penis that's like longer than their body or something. Which is weird because most birds don't have a penis. Ducks are unusual in that respect. Most birds just have a cloaca. It's just a hole. Imagine if you just had a hole and sperm kind of came out and you rubbed your hole against the female's hole, which was very similar. And it's the same hole that you poop and peed out of. You just have one hole for all of that.
Yeah.
That's why bird poop is so runny, because it's also their urine.
Yeah.
It all comes out in one blob.
All right. Seems efficient.
Yeah.
Should we take these ridiculous hats off? Are we finished with the pony?
Yeah, it's too warm for them anyway.
This has been good. It's been real.
So, yeah, we're done talking about My Little Pony. Thank goodness. And clopping.
And clopping. Now my hair's all messed up because my hair was wet when I put this shit on.
I'm sorry.
I'm over it. Okay, Dale. What else you said? Oh, this poor Jewish guy. Are they going to lop his penis on? Is that the only question? No. We hope no.
Surely they won't circumcise him, right?
My hair's all messed up. I'm just going to have to wear the hat.
Somebody asked on the thread. They said, please don't be offended. This is an honest question. I don't mean to offend anyone, but what would they circumcise? And I just basically tried to, as tactfully as possible, because this is a touchy subject, because I don't want to upset trans people. I don't want to trigger anyone or whatever. But, sometimes trans people are not thrilled or have dysphoria associated with genitals that don't match their gender identity or whatever. But yeah, basically, male and female genitals have a lot of corresponding parts. Like, they're actually a lot more similar than you might realize. And but anyway, there is actually a foreskin, essentially. Yes, there is. So it is potentially possible they could do that. And in fact, in places that do female circumcision, a lot of most people leap to when people hear female circumcision, they think of removal of the clitoris. That's the most extreme form of it, and that's very severe. They
send this Jewish 8th grader to Africa, to the parts of Africa where they.
Well, anyway, that is the most extreme form, but that is rare. Like, most of the places who do female circumcision don't do that. That's the most drastic thing from like a few weird places. Most of the time, they do something that's very comparable to male circumcision, which is like removal of the clitoral hood, which is essentially what becomes the foreskin on a guy's, or just like cutting it back a little bit or something. And then sometimes the female circumcision is nothing more than like a symbolic thing where they just kind of prick that skin, and it's really minimal. It's not even. It's almost just a symbol. It's almost just a ritual.
I've done that. No, it's true. I have my frenulum pierced.
Oh, right. Okay.
Your frenulum, that little flap of skin right under your pee hole.
I'm not even talking about piercing. I'm just talking about pricking, like nicking.
It's not even going through. You can't even put a piece of jewelry in there.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's even as involved as that. But no, I don't know how common that is. I just know that most of I had someone who was really researched on this subject. He says most of the places that do it are not doing that really drastic form that is what people because people throw a fit about female genital mutilation. That's what they call that, but they don't call male circumcision the same thing, even though it's comparable. And it's not. And oh no, that's fine. If you do the same thing to guys, it's fine. But if you do it to
Men are disposable.
What?
It's about male disposability.
right.
So, all right. What about your
So this is good news though. This is the California Jewish School, and they marked the 8th grader's gender transition, and they're letting him go through bar mitzvah and all that stuff. So he's being accepted in his temple. Is that what they call it? What do they call it for Jewish people? Anyway, it's good news. It's pretty cool. I don't have a lot more to say about it than that.
Good.
I just said
I'm glad for him. Here's my little round of applause.
yes.
I'm happy that this is happening. Like, is it weird that I'm happy that this is happening for younger and younger people? Like, I think it's nice that they don't have to suffer through puberty in a body that they don't feel belongs to them.
Absolutely. I mean, I understand the concern, and I share that concern but maybe they haven't. There's the risk that they're going to change their mind later or something. But for the most part, if someone is willing to go through that, even at that age, like for the most part, they know. You know how people say, "Well, it's just a phase. You're not really gay." Derek, you're not. You're going to snap out of it. It's just a phase. But it's not. You knew, like, no, this is who I am. I think for most trans people, it's pretty. Especially if they know at a young age, they probably know. But there are therapists who are trained in dealing with that, and I trust them more than I would trust some redneck who's upset that they're able to do it early. But I think that, and it's cool they have drugs now that just delay puberty. And it might sound drastic, but it's not as drastic as going through puberty as the wrong gender and then becoming suicidal.
Yes.
Right? So I realize it sounds drastic, but you have to compare it to the alternative, which can be far worse. Like going through puberty as the wrong gender is a lot worse than not going through it at all for a few extra years. And then being able to like conclude with a greater degree of certainty that you in fact are trans and want to try to go through puberty properly in the right direction. And so that's awesome. I think it's great that it's an option. And I think most trans people, if you talk to people who had to do it as an adult after they'd already gone through puberty and had to go do it as an adult and try to reverse all of that to as much extent as possible. I think if you talk to a lot of those people, they would just say they're thrilled for people who can do it early,
Take the drugs, change your gender. Everybody is the wrong gender.
I'm all for choice. If you want to do it, then you should be able to do it.
I agree. But at what age? And
what
kind of support do you need from your parents? And like, should you do it independently? Should you move out? I don't know. These are like a lot of tough questions for young people.
Yeah.
Flaming freedom.
Here's a breaking medical legal.
The chat room's all mad at me about this frenulum thing. Yeah.
What are they upset about?
Thank you, Roger. Kickstart is like, oh, I think it's Kickstart who's saying this. No, I don't know. Anyway,
this is a misunderstanding here. Circumcision would not be comparable to a frenulum piercing. We're not saying. I don't think we ever said that. When did we say that?
I said that in the chat room. No, I didn't say it's comparable. I just said that I have my frenulum pierced and it doesn't hurt as much as you would think. And they're like, oh, some people say that about circumcision. I'm like, apples and oranges.
No, circumcision is it's not comparable. It is much worse. I would expect you're cutting off a whole bunch of sensitive nerves versus just piercing something.
Yeah, it's
worse.
Totally different.
I don't think anyone is claiming that, Mr. Roger. Is that what it is?
Roger. Everyone in the chat room is brilliant. We've got the best of the best. The creme de la creme in the chat room tonight. And they know a lot about circumcision. This is such a libertarian topic. All the libertarians are talking about circumcision all the time. I feel like I live in this bubble of libertarian talking. Like I'm on this talk shows and anarchists and like the topics that I think everyone's talking about are really just really niche topics.
Huh.
Like circumcision. I don't think that's a big.
Circumcision is.
Is it a mainstream thing, or is everybody talking about that?
I think it's just because I think maybe it's just time for some of these subjects, and the internet is making that happen. And yeah, sure, libertarians are talking about it because we've been talking about it, but now that it's getting more mainstream attention, it's coming up more.
Right.
Circumcision is one of those things. I think it's getting more mainstream attention. I think feminism is getting more mainstream attention. I think the people have always had their thoughts about feminism, but they haven't had to talk about it too much. It's gotten a little more mainstream now. A lot of the stuff is coming up in politics a lot more, and there is a strong, outspoken movement to debunk the irrational things in it. So now that's coming up more. And so I think the fact that we talk about it more on this show is just a reflection of the fact that it's being talked about more in general. I really.
I am starving, Dale. I'm so sorry to just break.
It's too bad you're not here. I have
No, I can't eat.
layered fiesta dip.
Oh.
And some mint, not mint. I have some hint of lime.
Oh.
Chips over here.
No,
Why
stop.
can't you eat? Because you're Babs.
Yeah, I decided I'm not going to eat anything after 8 p.m. anymore
Okay, it's
because
not bad.
it's like, I'm just gonna go to sleep after this.
That really matters, though. I mean, there's still the concern about your overall calorie intake and your ratio of fats to carbs and all that.
I want to be hungry in the morning. Typically, like when I eat at night, I don't eat breakfast in the morning.
Okay.
That's not a good way to do the calorie thing.
Huh.
You gas up and go. You don't gas up, sleep on it, and then go.
My breakfast is bulletproof coffee. I don't eat much until
Not as cool as you. I don't have the bulletproof coffee.
it's not hard to do. You can do it. Not hard. And you have Prime Roast near you. I'm jealous of that.
I never go to Prime Roast.
They have good coffee there. You should go to Prime Roast. You're nuts. Like you're this wonderful
I go there for dates. It's a good place for
It's
dates.
the biggest thing I miss about Keene. I would go there on a regular basis to get fresh coffee. I wouldn't buy too much because I want it to always be fresh.
They're good, but everyone hates them because they roast their coffee at whatever time, and it makes the whole main street smell. So now they're roasting offsite right across from 101 Deals.
You can watch the LRN Studio Cam and chat with other listeners anytime
Great.
at cam.
I don't understand people complaining about coffee smell.
Because it's nasty. It's like a burn coffee smell. Clapping to ponies.
What are we talking about now?
I don't know.
That.
Can we talk about? I don't know if we talked about this on air already, but I'm so mad that that woman with big jugs got like a bunch of views, and
It's not as much as you think. It's gotten 46 people reached.
versus 3. That's
Yeah.
more than 10 times.
To be fair, though, that one was let me check that one now. That one was posted. That was how many it had reached in a very short period of time because we posted it right before the show.
No, nobody in the chat room understands. Okay, I was talking about Prime Roast during the break, and it's a coffee shop here in Keene. It's amazing. They make wonderful coffee. I love the smell of brewing coffee. This is different. This is roasting coffee, and sometimes it can really stink.
Okay.
It's up all of Main Street, and it kind of smells like burned coffee smell.
Okay.
Okay, and it's not good, and it's kind of invasive. It's like a libertarian. What do they call it? Externalities.
Right, like an environmental issue.
People would be like, I can't do business on Main Street because I have to shut down because I'm too close to you, Prime Roast. You're smelling everything up. And
That's
so
I never noticed that when I was living there. I never noticed like a smell on Main Street from Prime.
yeah, but it's not all day. It's just at one very specific time, like right when they're roasting.
Okay.
People have told me, people who have come into the thrift store, they're like, oh, what's going on over there? They're building something. I'm like, yeah, the Prime Roast is going to do the roasting over there. They're like, oh, no. Don't tell me that. I hate them. They're always roasting their stuff at 10 a.m. or whatever the time is. And they're like, and I can't even go down Main Street. We smell it in our house. They live.
They should be glad then because they're actually going to the effort to roast it somewhere else.
Yeah. No, I'm sure they are glad, but it sucks for us because we live next to them now. So
yeah.
Anyway.
Now you'll smell it, but it's a much more secluded location though. It's not on Main Street at least.
Are you going to go to the suspicionless checkpoint? tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm not
Come on, you don't know.
usually I'm usually tired at like midnight and really tired, and so a lot of these things go late. So I usually am not that attracted to those things.
I don't hate coffee. What the hell is no chat room? I don't hate coffee beans. I'm not saying it smells to me. Other people complain. Dear Jay's the communist. Fuck you, Slay Joe.
Yeah.
I want to go to the suspicionless checkpoint thing. I think it's one of the coolest.
You might be able to talk me. If you end up going, you might be able to talk me into going.
I'm going in my Speedo.
You're coming out here?
Yeah, I'm going to be in my Speedo with my white pasty body. They're just going to paint the message on me, and all the cars that drive by will see it so clearly reflected. They'll be blinded with my milky white skin. It's actually a thing. I've started to see this as a positive. Like almost for every defect that a human can have, there's someone who's into that. So my solution, instead of changing myself, has just been to find these people who are into that.
Okay.
So like, yeah, I could go to a tanning salon, and I do plan to do that. I'm a little too white for my own liking, but I've got like what's that stuff? Jergens Natural Glow. I'll be using that and like rubbing that all over. But that's like, it takes like an extra minute or something after the shower. So the new solution, there's this like some of the guys that I've been seeing, they're like really into the. I don't know why it is, like, you know, because they're black and I'm white, and there's like, oh, we're interracial. Like, just the fact that our skin colors are so different is a turn on. Isn't that kind of weird?
No, I think it's actually, it might even be a drive you have that's based on trying to have a healthy mating thing. Because
like heteronormativity, or
right.
something.
Like it's not healthy to interbreed too much, right? It's like you don't want to be too incestuous. You don't want to necessarily. It's actually healthy. Kids are healthy usually when you crossbreed to and get a nice variety of genes into them. So I think it might be healthy. If you're like super pale, I'm super pale. I get skin cancer from a Florida postcard, so I tend to be attracted to darker people.
Yeah.
I don't know if that. I mean, not all white people are, obviously. There are white people who prefer other white people and stuff.
My sister's the same way. She only dates dark.
My whole family too. My whole family. If you look at who they actually married, my sister married a dark Cherokee Indian. He's like half Cherokee.
Oh, hot.
He's not. His skin is as dark as a black person, even though he doesn't look like a black person because he's Cherokee. But and then my brother married a Latina woman. She was dark. And I had a big crush on this half Filipino, half Hawaiian guy who was very dark when I was in California. And I'm always attracted to darker guys. Occasionally black guys, but more often like Latinos or dark-skinned Asian people like Filipinos and stuff like that. So I think it's just I think it's that I don't want my kids to go up and smoke when they go out in the sun,
Yeah. Your kid,
even though I'm not reproducing, I'm just
right.
the same drive is there.
Keep trying to have. Isn't that weird? Like the sex drive. Like I don't know. It is kind of weird to me. Like all the
being attracted to someone who's different from you. I think it's yeah. I think that's I found another thing I find, for instance, is guys who have big dicks don't care whether another guy has a big dick.
Isn't that crazy? That blows my mind. I always want my dick size to be like about the same. I want to be like on par. Or if they have a huge dick and they're the top, like, yeah, I'm all for that. But yeah, the guys with big dicks, they like don't
care
at all. They're like, oh, I've got enough dick for the both of us.
Yeah, I've already seen that. It doesn't impress me. I don't know. I don't know.
It's pretty awesome. Although I feel really bad. I saw a picture of a micro penis the other day. What can I do to help these people? It's really actually sad to me. Like
some of them just like, I want to be really submissive. And
what if they don't want to be? What if they want to like have a family and have children and like find a mate? And it's so sad that they've got micro penis is a very special category of penis.
Yeah, I know. They're like almost not functional. Like it may not even be usable.
Right.
In traditional fashion.
Yeah, it's like a clitoris.
It's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard to use it properly. Like, yeah. Yeah,
so
I would date those guys no problem because I don't care about it.
Can you inject fat? Like they have penis things where you can inject fat into the.
There's stuff like that, but oh god, that's short term too. You have to keep doing it.
I would do it. I would do anything.
Reabsorbed by the body.
I would do whatever it takes.
All right. I think if I were in that situation, I would just like run with it and be like an ultra submissive guy. Find guys who don't care about it.
Yeah, you know, me too. As a guy who does chastity, I might as well. Like, you know, fuck it. We don't have a penis.
That's a big turn on. Like, that's the thing. I've seen guys. I know online, for instance, there's like this whole Tumblr thing called small cock humiliation.
I'm into that. Not into the small cock humiliation. I don't like that, but I'm into humiliation, and that comes up all the time.
This is a specific thing. It's like small cock humiliation, and these are guys who are running with it. They're like, make fun of my cock, you know, like it turns me on, humiliate me. And then they show like this. One guy shows like chastity, having his little wiener being put into a chastity device and everything, and so they just run with it. They fetishize it, and
good. So I don't need to feel bad for them. They're
sexually stuff, right?
Yeah, they don't need my pity.
There's that whole thing, like if you know, God give me the well, I hate bringing God into it, but give me the strength to change that which I can, the wisdom to accept that which I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference or something. And that's kind of the thing. Like, okay, you're not gonna ever have a big dick, so run with it. You know, it does suck, but
yeah,
what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I will respect them and try and, you know, make them feel welcome. And I want to help people with a micro penis. I feel bad.
Have sex with them. Maybe they're not getting laid a lot because of it. Maybe a lot of guys are size queen assholes.
You know, speaking of, I've been topping lately, Dale. I'm a new gay. I'm a top now.
I'm really proud of you, Derek.
I bottomed for my entire gay life. I think I started having sex at 17.
Okay.
5 now. I'm about to turn 26. Okay, sorry, quick math. 8 years. I've been bottom. That's like a third of my life, or a quarter of my life.
I'm still bad about looking at the camera. I'm trying to be better about it because I tend to look at you on my screen.
Oh, look. Yeah, you know.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm really. That's awesome.
So like a third of my life, I've been a bottom. Suddenly, I'm discovering the world of topping. It's totally new. I'm such an amateur. I'm like, actually, I know I'm not that good at it. I know that. I need more practice.
Out a lot. Does it pop out a lot?
What?
Does it pop out a lot?
Does it pop out a lot? Oh, yes, it does.
Keep having to find the hole again and cram it back in.
How am I not good at finding an asshole? How am I not good at that?
No, they are hard to find. They clench solid shut. It's like a solid wall. You have to
How did your
every time.
asshole go?
They're not. It's hard to feel. It's hard to find it just from your penis tip. Like it's not like.
I find myself always having to feel under there. Like, okay, let me find this again. Like, let me help my.
They have to do it because they know when your dick is on their asshole. Like you can feel when someone's.
They have to do it exactly. Just grind it in there.
Just let them grab it and then shove it into their hole because that's the way to go. Yeah.
Done it. Oh, donate fat. That's a good idea, Clarence. Support that. Donate fat to the micro penis people. They can have my belly fat
because you can't use your fat because it'll trigger an immune response. It has to be their own body fat.
Oh, well, good for them. They can slim up their tummies and put it in their dick.
It's yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's all a whole body self-improvement thing.
Yeah. So I'm going through this thing lately of figuring out like what I want to do for myself and not necessarily for the sake of being what I think's going to attract men. This is it's been a very happy time in my life to kind of go, I'm going to do what I want to do to make myself happy and not do it to attract other men. Does that make sense?
What have you been waiting for?
You know, stuff like when I started shaving my legs and stuff like that. And I used to worry like that. Oh, guys are gonna freak out about that, and I'm like, I don't care if they do. Like, this is just then don't date me. Then
that's the thing. For everything that you could have, for every combination of features, there's someone who's into it. I know it sounds crazy, but that's true.
Yeah.
So you can
those bear priders. Those bear priders are like, ugh, gross. Like, fine, it's gross to you then. I don't care. Bear stuff is gross to me, but I don't care.
Yeah. We're not into that.
Someone else likes it, so it doesn't matter. Right?
We really need a bear on the show though, so that we don't sound so bear hatey.
This has always been an issue, right? Like, I don't know. Like trying to get lesbians on the show.
Why can't we get lesbians on the show?
I have, but sporadically. Like, there's actually been quite a few on the show. We've had like quite a few, or bisexuals, like so many. Like Lelani has been on a lot. She's bisexual.
Mhm.
Although her lifestyle is heterosexual, but she's potential is bisexual. And then let's see, because she's married. And then there's oh gosh, Sabrielle is bi. And then Buzz has been on. She's
married. Once you're like married, you're committed to that. You're not.
Yeah. So Sabrielle, this is interesting. Sabrielle is bi, but living the gay lifestyle because she's married to a woman.
Yeah, and she's probably. I mean, I don't know about her poly life or whatever. She does poly.
I'm not certain. She might be poly too.
Yeah, I don't know about that,
but I don't want to speak to someone else's. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about poly?
It's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm really, I mean, I date around. I have sex with lots of different guys, but I want to settle. I'm looking for a long-term monogamous relationship for my life partner. Like, I want one guy.
When do you think that'll happen? Like, if you had to predict, like, how long it'll be?
I think I'm going to be 40.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's going to take me a while. I feel like I was born 40. Like, I've always been 40.
Okay.
I was acted 40. I've always kind of dressed 40. And, I don't know. I just feel like maybe like that's going to be my high mark. That's when it's going to happen. I'm going to be completely me. I'm going to
remember my dad saying,
40-year-old body. What?
I remember my dad telling me that life begins at 40. He says up until, and he kind of explained it. I didn't really grasp it at the time.
And online, this is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
I don't know. You want to start this?
Yeah. So I was just telling a story, and I'll continue it now that we're back. So my dad was telling me, and he's passed now, but my dad was telling me that life begins at 40. And like I didn't grasp it fully at the time. I was like, yeah, whatever. That seems stupid. That's how I felt at the time. Because you always think you know everything when you're really young, right? When you're young, you think you know everything, and older people tell you stuff, and you're like, whatever. What do you know? But anyway, and then I turned 40, and then right around the time I was turning 40, that's when I was finding the FSP. That's when I started having ideas of like what I feel like I knew by then what I wanted, what I needed in order to be happy.
Yeah.
And then I had notions of like settling down in New Hampshire and meeting people that I liked and really, and and what my dad said was that up until about 40, you're so focused on your future. You're so focused on doing all these things for later on. And like, you don't live in the moment as much. Like you're going to college, you're thinking about getting married, having kids and all that stuff. And so it's not until you hit about 40, you're like, shit, I need to live now. I need to actually live, like start enjoying things now. And it's not, and I don't mean to imply it in such a way. It's like, oh, this sense of urgency. I'm going to die soon. I have to hurry and live. No, I don't mean it like that. But I just mean that you've kind of established stuff that by then you've gotten you're done with college. If you're going to do the wife and kids thing, your kids are getting a little older now and they're not as dependent on you. They can go out and they're more independent and stuff like that. They might be moving out soon. You've maybe got a house by then. You're settled. You've saved some money. And it's kind of like that's okay. You've done all that crap that you had to do. And when you had to be focused on your future and you hit 40 and you're like, now I'm actually living my life in the moment. And I feel like that to a large extent, I really started to feel that way. I'm like, I hit 40 and then like, that's when a lot of crap started coming together for me. I sold my house in LA, moved out to New Hampshire, bought a house, started working for myself, having more free time, started doing activism that made me feel good, started socializing in ways that made me feel good, that I started meeting people who I really could relate to. And it just changed. A whole lot changed around that time. So I think in a lot of ways, like really, it's true. Life begins at 40.
I can't imagine how I'm going to be different when I'm 40. Because this conversation started out with me answering Dale's question, how do I feel about polyamory? And I was like, it's not for me. You know, I think it's fine. But for me, I want a long-term monogamous relationship. He's like, when do you think that's going to happen? I say probably around 40 because I feel like I was born 40. I've always been 40. I dress 40. And like, maybe that's the year for me. That's when like everything's going to culminate and be like, Derek, you're this full human being now. I feel like I'm not there yet, you know, like I'm still developing.
I hear you, but I'm going to tell you something that I'm not. I kind of feel this way. I don't want to say it definitively as if I know everything. I don't. But a concern I would tell you, and I feel like this may have been kind of the case for me, is you get set in your ways probably by 30.
Wait, anybody or me personally? What are you talking about?
I think it's kind of true in general that people are kind of set in their ways by the time they're 30.
Okay. So.
And I think you have a better chance of having something lasting happen if you get on it a little earlier.
I'm getting on it now, Dale. I'm trying for that long-term monogamous relationship now. I'm not just like fucking around.
All right. Well, you predicted 40 is all I'm saying.
That's because I'm so bad at it. I can't find the guy. I've been trying. But I'm looking for a very specific guy. How many, like,
you know what? Okay, go ahead.
How many black gay anarchists are there in the world? And then dial them down to my age range, my location, the general interest, you know, things that we're interested in.
Yeah.
Like, dial that all down. I've got like 0.001% chance of ever finding the right life mate for me. So I've got to be as loud as I can. I got to be on as many shows. I got to put myself out there.
I don't think shows are going to help you meet people. I don't.
Especially not with a dumbass hat like this.
Right. Right.
But no, the point remains, I am a monogamist. And I know that's unpopular in the liberty community. Everyone's a polygamist. But, you know. Oh.
I mean, as much as I think I think if people hear me on this show, they think I'm this really crazy sexual obsessed guy who's into all this crazy fetishy stuff. The truth is I'm fairly prudish. And I really don't like, I don't want to have sex that much and with a lot of different guys. I mean, when it comes time to actually
have sex
with someone, I'm actually.
You want to have sex every day?
What's that?
How often do you want to have sex?
I could have sex every day, but if in a relationship, but otherwise, absolutely not. No. Like if I had to go out and find someone to have sex with, I'm totally capable of doing that. I can go out to the breezeway. I'll get hit on. It may not be exactly the perfect guy that I want to have sex with, but I'll get hit on. I'll be able to have sex, and I'd just rather masturbate. If I was in a relationship, sure, I could have sex regularly. I think. Yeah. But that's just the thing. Like when it comes down to it, if it comes time to actually go out and meet someone and do the effort, I don't want it bad enough to do that. So I'm not. And polyamory just sounds exhausting to me too. That doesn't appeal to me. It's not immoral. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all.
Right. Clearly, it's not immoral. It's consensual and all that. But
fine. I don't see it. I don't see wanting to do that. Now, what I could say for sure, for instance, if I met like a couple. And the couple was like, and I liked them. And I hung out with them for a while. And they're like, you know what, Dale? We kind of want to let you in. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? If they approached me, or something like a couple approached me, and I liked them, and they wanted to try it out, I'd probably want to try it out. I'd be a little bit skeptical.
I might consider that actually, if I fit well with the couple and everything, and like we were all together all the time. See, my ex, Nicholas, he's got we were together for a long time, and he's one of the gay anarchists. And I still love him a lot in various ways, but we've both moved on. And he has a polygamous relationship with, polygamous? No, polyamorous.
Polyamorous, yeah.
With two different guys who live in two different places. And so sort of like, he's never with both, from my understanding. It's like with one or the other. And I would get totally jealous and like, it's hard enough to focus on one guy, let alone how am I going to balance these two?
Yeah, I'd be skeptical of that. The other thing I imagine if
you're supposed to give 100% of yourself. Like the way I learned is like relationships aren't 50-50. They're 100 and 100. And how can you give 100 to like 5 different people? You just can't. I can't.
I think, there's diversity of relationships. Like you could have haven't you ever had like a sex buddy situation?
Yeah, but I'm going to be wondering every time I have sex with him, like, oh, did you just have sex with that other guy? And was it better than with me? And like, you know, does he do something for you? I don't know. Maybe I'd lack communication.
Strange insecurities, it sounds like. I mean, it's understandable.
A lot of insecurity.
What's that?
I've got a lot of insecurity. Yes.
Yeah, we all do. We've all got our insecurities. I'm not sure I would worry about it that much, but
Why
I
is it a concern? Like, why wouldn't it be a concern? I know the guys that I'm sleeping with are sleeping with other guys right now. So why don't I ask the same questions of them now? I'm not concerned about that.
yeah.
We're basically having polyamorous relationships until we nail one down. But yeah, I would love to have a lifelong partner. I picture that. Like, I want to bring home a guy to my family and have him be my husband and be like, look, like he's part of the group and everything.
You're looking for you like certain things to be traditional. You like the tradition.
I think I'm very traditional.
And here's the thing. Do you think that that's because you were indoctrinated into that? Like you were taught that and that's how you were raised and so that's what's comfortable for you? And if so, is that bad? Right? I'm trying to think about some of these things differently because I know we do things like we raise girls with certain expectations. We raise guys with certain expectations. We raise everybody with the expectations of like getting married and monogamy and all this stuff. And there's a lot of it I disagree with. And I'm like, I don't think we should keep doing that. But at the same time, is it automatically bad just because it's traditional?
No, I view like, I don't know. I think this is kind of out there, but I view life as sort of this fractal, right? And everything is like a fractal of this one thing. Or a fractal of the earth or a fractal of the universe, and so part of this design is partnership, like between two humans. The two humans come together and make this thing that helps make out the whole universe. Now, I understand that there can be like electrons that float with other atoms and stuff, and that's sort of like polyamorous relationships. But I see myself as more one of those covalent bond type chemistry things where I go with one other person. That's the kind of chemistry makeup that I have.
I think
I'm
I'm monogamously oriented. I'm not closed-minded to trying it, but I'm skeptical about that it would work. I would try it because I wouldn't mind.
Covalent bonds.
This is Flaming Freedom.
We'll do it again next week. FlamingFreedom.com. Gaynarchists on Facebook.
A fully leveled up video game.
Yeah. All right. This was a very good and interesting episode. Thank you for going deep with me, Dale.
Sure. No problem. And I'm going to go to bed because I may have to drive to Keene tomorrow.
I'm going to go to bed so I don't stay so damn hungry. I'm starving.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Night.